Yo, hey, I hope you're doing great. So today I'm gonna be reacting to "Son of There's No Place Like Homerton." Okay, so this is Hatfield and the North. So that's an interesting name, right? So Hatfield and the North, that's the name of the artist, and then "Son of There's No Place Like Homerton." Huh. So this is a song suggestion actually from our pattern. This is from Ronnie. Um, so actually, this is the December pick. So we're gonna get there to all the the association that I have. So this is Rolling saying, "Hey, hi John. My December pick is another Canterbury scene band, Hatfield and the North, exceptional musicians creating their own take on jazz and rock with some angelic vocals. Hope you enjoy." So I'm excited about this. Um, so yeah, this should be very interesting. Rock and jazz, some angelic voice. This is 10 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna get there. So pretty much what is gonna happen is I'm gonna react to this as a classical guitarist, or classical musician, right? I'm just gonna listen to the whole take without stopping, right? That way you can see my reaction, and also we can enjoy the whole song. And then after that, I give you my analysis, my review, right, and my take. I will say my first impressions, and there I can just go little by little. We can play and stop. I don't do the whole thing, but we can, check out everything. And yeah, just gonna give you my take. So yeah, check out my Patreon, also my website if you want more information about whatever guitar, right, and video games or all this stuff. But anyway, let's do it. Make sure that we don't destroy this video. Okay. Okay, let me do. Better. Oh. Okay. Such interesting art. Huh. Okay. This sound very classical. Oh. We have the piano. all the scale that connect the trinos. This is, this is good stuff. Impressionism. Oh, we had the major chord. Wait. Okay. Okay. Me. But what? Okay. So, I'm gonna give you my analysis, my first take. Actually, that was very, very interesting. I mean, it was really good. It was very interesting, more than anything. This remind me a little bit of Gentle Giant. Also, it does remind me, not remind me, but it give me the avant-garde vibe. Why avant-garde? Because there's a lot of I don't know. There's moments where tonality does actually go out a little bit of the room. Not completely. They maintain the tonality most of the time, but they do play a lot with the harmony in the sense that when they change a chord, all of them are pretty open, and I'm pretty sure that they have like a moment to like select. Okay, this is where we're going. It did remind me a little bit of Alan Holdsworth. I think that is the guitarist, the amazing guitarist, right? It reminded me a little bit of him because what this band does is like they change chords, but then sometimes they go to dark places in the chords. It was very nice to hear the major chord. It does, when you hear the major chord, it does make you breathe, right? So it's like a little break, not a little break, but it's just when you had that major chord, is after all the craziness that you listen to, it, you just feel release, right? Because finally I have like, something that feels normal to you, right? Even if you are like a progressive, avant-garde, crazy madness listener, right? Which in progressive music, it tends to be the case because obviously we are always looking for, having our brain to be moving all the time, because obviously our brain is moving all the time and we love that. But when we have those major or minor chord without too much changes, it does feels like a moment to breathe. And in music, when I have this type of music, I do enjoy those, even if it's just once, For example, there was section that it did remind me of Leo Brouwer. So it's a classical guitarist, amazing Cuban composer. And what the piano does, it does remind me of Leo Brouwer. Actually, the guitar and piano, there's sections that do some arpeggios, like also impressionism, and then we go to, I don't want to say minimalism, right? But we go to modal arpeggios, and again, it sounds very rock, but then we got the jazz, and then we had the voice, which the voice is very experimental, and again, that reminds me a little bit of Gentle Giants. Obviously, Gentle Giants do all the stuff different, but it did remind me of them. And again, we have the saxophone. Even we have a part that we have like 3 or 4 saxophone making solos at the same time, which it gave me a little vibe of free jazz for a moment. And there, when the saxophone were doing the solo, the 4 saxophone or 3 saxophone, the harmony was a little bit, it was in the line of like, okay, I'm surviving this. But then after that, we go to very close to the major chord, which is good. So in other words, this song does begin very, very avant-garde. Actually, it does remind me a little bit of classical music, the piano, because it does have some counterpoint, and We had that how do you call that in the bass, when we had dum bum 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 ostinato, I will say, right? But still moving with melodies, and then there's some structure of classical music, but then we have instrument adding, and then we have, this song have a lot of things going on. Good stuff, good stuff. But again, I'm gonna come back to the beginning. That was my first impressions. But this is a really good selection, and from all the Cattenboer, or what's the name of that? Let me see. What's the name of the Canterbury scene? This is the band that has been the most crazy of all of them. When I say crazy, it's not crazy in a bad way. It's crazy that they're super experimental, and yeah, I feel that it goes a lot into avant-garde. Again, what avant-garde means to me, avant-garde for me is a sense of crossing the lines and the boundaries of music in the way that they're more free in selection of what tonality, and there's no here or there. It's just more free. That's for me what avant-garde is. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. I love avant-garde stuff. Not that I listen to a lot of avant-garde music, but when there's a band that is avant-garde, Portal. There's a band called Gorguts in metal, super dissonance, and there is a feel of non-structure or crossing the line. I tend to like those, and here in this case, that's this is what happening here, which again, it's beautiful stuff and crazy stuff at the same time. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the beginning, and then we can Okay, first we begin with a full chord. I didn't know if I was beginning in the right place, but I hear dan-tong, dan-tong, which is kind of interesting. Maybe this is a combination of the song before. Kind of interesting. Sound very tonal. You can hear the ostinato in the bass, the piano, in the keyboard. And then we have a melody, and then now we have another voice up top. So now we have three voices in the keyboard. It's not that amazing that you're in the piano, you can do all that. You're playing with with 10 fingers, and you can do a lot of melodies at the same time. It's kind of beautiful. Beautiful, tonal. Again, tonal. That things are gonna be a little crazy, but it's enjoyable. Again, and also the entering of the drum and the guitar and the bass give the vibe. We have the distortion those, and that's what add the vibe of rock, right? And also we're getting modulations from the keyboard and everything. Yeah, it sounded 3 or 4 voices. Good stuff. We haven't modulate yet. We haven't modulate. Modulation being change tonality. I feel that we still haven't modulate. I think that here we do modulate. And then from here, that's no modulation, but the guitar and the bass are touching another grade of the scale with whatever is happening. Obviously here we are just It's an amazing selection of voicing here. Obviously, we modulate now. We, from major and minor, and then we have some tension. Then we go some more jazzy stuff. Oof. That's chord, super open chord, and it seems that from here we go to something else. I love how the bass sounds, and obviously the bass is doing something by itself. I love it. It's moving, and it's just more than a bass. I love it. We modulate here with modulation. Now we modulate. Have two saxophone entering. Very interesting. They do an unison, but then also they change a little bit. We modulate again. Again, we do a new modulation. Now we have the guitar. Good stuff. So now it seems that we're gonna go to another direction. Now here, super progressive, I would say, and the first part when we had the bass and the keyboard, that's when it began to give me the avant-garde, vibe, but not yet completely. Now obviously we go to a new section, very progressive, I would say, and this is like minor and super with some tension. Here it does give me the vibe of Gentle Giant a little bit. I had to say I love saxophone in rock bands, and obviously the saxophone. Actually, there's saxophone. There's like I heard a flute somewhere, but those things are what kind of help also the sound of jazz in the music. Obviously, because you're used to listening to those instrument jazz, Here's super. Here is kind of avant-garde for me and beautiful at the same time. Yeah. Still very tonal, super good, but you give me a little sense of it, of like, okay, we're playing with the line. Yeah. Oh, I love this scale. It's beautiful. Ooh, that scale. People are doing. They get together. Not everyone is doing the unison. Da 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 da. Just there's a counterpoint in that scale, and it's beautiful. Here it does give me the Leo Brouwer, in the music. You know what? There's a piece called from Leo Brouwer, a quartet. It's called Paisaje Cubano con Lluvia. It reminds me a little bit of that. Oh yeah, Paisaje Cubano con Lluvia. Check it out. It's a quartet. Paisaje Cubano con Lluvia means Cuban. Paisaje Cubano. How do you? It's a Cuban. Paisaje. How do you say paisaje? Cuban landscape with rain. Cuban landscape with rain, and in the quartet, it's just Leo Brouwer is trying to simulate how the rain sounds. So now this that you're hearing here, Leo Brouwer used something very similar to that, and if you imagine that arpeggio, it does sound a little bit like rain. It's like a dropping rain. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, actually beautiful combination of the two instruments. Yeah. Oof. It's like it rained, yeah. Oh yes, beautiful stuff. Now very soon we're gonna get the voice, which it does. It enters, it gives you an entrance, and it's very weird, but then it's such an interesting thing. The flute. That entrance from the guitar was such an interesting entrance because it's even out a little, not in the harmony. Like it felt a little weird because that note is very interesting. Listen, you see that? That's dissonant there. That's very very avant-garde. Now we control it. That's very good. Actually, here I think that it's like the voice does an effect, but also it entered very weird. That's a voice. That's very atonal, and it doesn't go with the harmony. That's super. It reminds me of Schomburg a little bit. No. It reminds me of Berrios cadenza for voice. If you have opportunity, check out the Berio. I think that is Berio cadenza, right? Let's check that out because I don't want to give you wrong information here. Berio. I don't want to see Berio. Berio cadenza. Cadenza. Let me see. Cadenza. Voice. I don't want to give you the wrong information. Sequenza. Berio. Luciano Berio. Sequenza number 3 is the female voice. It's the voice Sequenza from Berrios. Check it out. It does remind me a little bit of that. Then we do have the angelical voice. Yeah, let's hear it. Beautiful. Good entrance for the voice. Ooh, here it's super jazz. That's more jazz here. Beautiful stuff. Remind me of Gentle Giants, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how. It's such an amazing thing that people can select one note to combine, but in the open harmony, it's just I think that it's a beautiful skill to have, to be able to travel easily into the jazz world in harmony. For example, when I compose, sometimes I love using open chords, but sometimes I don't know what they mean, and that's bad because it doesn't. If I knew what I was doing, I will know how to move around. Like some people, they just know how to move in open harmony, like they are like snakes, and they know how to connect everything in such a beautiful way. And these people, they know how to do it. Super jazzy in the sense of the harmony. We modulate here. We're doing modulations. Beautiful stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Let's see how they end, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, such a major 7 chord there with the voices. What a beautiful way to finish. Oh, they didn't finish. Shivers. Actually, they don't finish with the major chord 7, but let's listen to that. It's a major chord, but it sounds so minor. I don't know. That's a major chord. What a way to finish that. I want to put it again from here. That ending, that transition from there, we go from major 7 to major chords that sound minor. I don't know how they do that, right? But then we enter with a major chord. We finish with a major chord, that voice part. I think that's the ending, right? And that feels like cherry in the top. And you know what? That's the first time that we hear a major chord with no interruption. That's the first time that I hear a definitely ending of a section. And that major chord is just one of the most important points of the whole song, because that's the moment where, you know, a major chord have the most impact in the song for me. Kind of crazy, right? Because normally when you listen to music, major chords and minor chords are such a normal thing, but when you listen to music like this, major chord and minor chord become such a important part of what's happening, right? So let's continue. Oh. Beautiful major 7 here. We haven't begun the ending yet. Not yet. Beautiful counterpoint. Oh. Here. You think that it ends there, major 7 chord. We move. We come back to the major 7. Now listen to this. That's a major chord. For you. For you. Amazing, right? That's such an amazing ending. Now we can come back to Mount Rock and then yeah. Now let's see here, because it seems that people love this part here a lot. There's a jazz section here, super jazz, very jazz, yeah. Beautiful section, like just moving, and it's just in that movement there's some chords that are just crazy stuff. It's they modulate. It's just there's so much going on in just a little section there. Good stuff. And then here, for me, it just feels like a free jazz section for me. Not yet. No, this is not free jazz, but let's see very soon. Here, now that's kind of dissonant. Here, now we got like a free jazz section here. That's for me a more free jazz, not crazy free jazz, but you know, not Ornette Coleman, you know. That's a free jazz for me. So that's what I got from this. So thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate this suggestion, Rolling. That was an amazing selection. such a beautiful thing to see bands that sounds like this. Actually, there's so much going on in the music that I had to listen to 2 or 3 more times to continue finding more new things. But other than that, thank you so much. Let me know in the comment what you think. Also check out my Patreon, right? If you want to do some suggestions, and see you in the next one. Take care.